welcome to E! Magazine. I'm your host, Brenda Nyamichaba. Now, the Music Copyright Society of Kenya has moved to clear the air following public outrage on Wednesday over alleged peanuts paid in royalties to some of the Kenya's biggest names in the music industry. And as a result, this opened up a debate about the formula used in collecting and distributing royalties among artists. And on E! Magazine, we continue the conversation as we look at whether Kenyan artists are paid enough royalties for their music. And the person helping with today's conversation is the one and only Majesty, who's a rapper and many other things. Thanks again for coming on E! Magazine. Yeah, so, how are you doing today?
I'm good.
Great.
Good to see you again, Brenda.
So, Majesty, obviously, this whole event has been happening throughout the whole week. I just want you to tell me when you first had this news circulating on social media platforms. What were your first thoughts when, Calligraph Jones came out and started ranting about 𝐿𝐶𝐆𝐾 paying him 2,500 Kenyan shillings and 30 bob ya kutoa? What were your thoughts about that?
I was like, yes, finally some light, KOT, once they get tired of something, I like how it comes to the light. And this is a big issue because the Kenyan music scene is starting to grow, and for someone like Calligraph, if you've seen his work, you've seen the amount of videos and music he's put out, it's obviously, you can just see, like, they expose themselves. 2,500 is not what he's worth. So I'm happy that it's been exposed, that it's a discussion we're having, and it benefits artists, new and old alike.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you feel like this is something that affects you? I mean, you're new in the music industry space.
Yeah.
You're trying to make your music out there and start making sales for yourself.
Yeah.
And if you do feel like it affects you,
Yeah.
can you explain how exactly?
So, like you said, yeah, I'm new, upcoming, a lot of things I'm still learning. This is an eye-opener because it's something I wasn't really attentive to, and now it's kind of, the discussion is going on, and it's kind of something I'm realizing I have to pay attention to. If this is a career I want to pursue, I need to know everything about how I can get my money, all my rights, copyright, all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Does it make you feel discouraged to put your trust in these music bodies that are supposed to protect artists like you and your work, or you still feel like it's something that eventually the music industry in Kenya will grow and it'll be fixable?
I would say yes and no. It's discouraging right now because corruption is something that has affected more than just music. And to think of how far we could have been, it's disappointing to see that these bodies are, suppressing our talent, and we're out here trying to, prove ourselves, trying to match the international standard, and these guys are here trying to suppress our efforts. But again, you can see people like Calligraph doing something. Mr. International out here is making money still. So if he's doing it, it opens the door and gives me faith that if he can do that, so can I.
Okay, that's great.
And there's hope.
Yeah, there's hope for artists like you getting into this space.
There's hope.
Now, obviously, Calligraph Jones went out and kind of started a thread of people, other artists coming out and saying, like, 𝐿𝐶𝐆𝐾 is paying us 2,500 Kenyan shillings. Fena came out as well. King Kaka obviously shared out his opinions about the whole situation as well. Now, apart from these artists voicing out the problems and the issues they're facing with 𝐿𝐶𝐆𝐾 Kenya and other music bodies such as Prisk, do you think they should take a step further than just voicing it on social media and obviously getting support from their fans?
Yeah.
For example, take them to court. Yeah. Once again, this is not the first time that 𝐿𝐶𝐆𝐾 Kenya is going to court with artists.
Yeah, I mean, social media is something that can make noise for a day, a week or two, and then we kind of forget it, and these guys still get away with that. But we need action, even if it means us guys go out there or boycott certain, platforms. I feel like that's a necessary step.
Okay.
Because this is our future now. We're out here really trying to promote ourselves and this art culture, this creative space happening in Kenya. And if these guys who are supposed to be on our side are suppressing us, it's inevitable.
Okay.
We're gonna pop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has this whole situation made you cautious as an upcoming artist in terms of when you decide to be a member of these music bodies in order for them to regulate and collect money for you when they're played in public places or PSVs? Has it made you cautious about whether or not you actually want to be a part of these music bodies?
Definitely, because I feel like there's so much talent, but then why people like Calligraph might stand out from the rest is because he might be a bit more stubborn to make sure all these things are working and just kind of give up.
Yes, yeah.
So, yeah, definitely.
Okay. Now, a lot of backlash has been there over the years with international artists such as Diamond coming into Kenya and getting paid way more money
By the way.
as compared to, you know, Kenyan artists like King Kaka. Like when they perform, the rate they get paid, you can't compare to. What are your thoughts on that?
It's mad. I mean, Chris Brown came here for like 15 minutes, if people even know he came here, got like 20 M and broke someone's phone. And
at the airport and still got 20 million Kenyan shillings
and
to
then
take.
just went home. For me, it's possible for them to pay an international act like that. Why can't they just pour that money into our own talent and kind of grow ourselves to kind of bring these people here? It's unfair.
Do you feel like that's one of the things that's making the music business in Kenya struggle?
Yeah, it shows lack of faith in ourselves. And obviously the corruption is part of that, but it's unfair.
It's unfair for you guys. It most definitely is. Now, obviously, we have to talk about the tweets themselves that, you know, brought up this whole controversy with 𝐄-𝐌𝐀𝐆𝐄 Kenya. Now, I'm not the best in Swahili, so I might just read the English ones. I'm not trying to embarrass myself on live television. Now, King Kaka obviously went out after Calligraph Jones just basically stated to 𝐿-𝐶SK Kenya, telling them that, in fact, I've given authorization for my music to be pirated and don't collect money from me anymore because it just doesn't make sense. And a lot of people just kept talking about the fact that the individuals make so much money. So getting 2,500 Kenyan shillings does not make sense in terms of the performances done throughout the year. But 𝐿-𝐶SK Kenya came out to explain how exactly they were distributing the money, and people still were not happy about the explanation. And what do you think about that? Do you think the explanation and them giving us and breaking it down how they spent the 44 million Kenyan shillings is good enough?
It's not credible. You know why? Perfect example is Alani. They actually dropped a video where they explained how 𝐿-𝐶SK they had a great year in 2014 and how they went and approached them to kind of figure out, you know, why does this money not match what we feel we should have gotten? And they got like 31,000. Then maybe after a week or so after that conversation, 𝐿-𝐶SK kind of got, you know, okay, these guys are aware. And then they got 300,000. So like, how can you go from 31,000 to 300,000?
Yeah.
It just means, you know, you're scared, so you kind of try to, you know, give them something to keep quiet. How much more were they owed? You know, things like that. True. So what they say to me is not credible. Yeah. If you can jump and add a zero like that, what was the money they were owed to begin with? Maybe even more than 300,000.
I follow you on that. And apparently the statistics show that each year the amount, the royalties Kenyan artists get paid decreases.
Whose breakdown is this? Their breakdown.
Their breakdown.
Yeah, I didn't check their breakdown.
Their
make
breakdown.
Their own numbers.
Now, obviously, you can clearly see with Alani, this issue with 𝐿-𝐶SK has been there for many years. I mean, Alani had this situation, but do you think it's falling in deaf ears? Like, we have a situation with Alani, then we have a situation with another artist each year, and there's no resolution to this situation.
Yeah. Transparency is something that needs to be highly worked on. If there's need for forums, if there's need for monthly reports, if there's need for education boards, all that needs to happen for transparency and for,
Very true, very true. Now, here's a tweet by King Kaka who says, so 𝐿-𝐶SK sends everyone 2,500 Kenyan shillings, 5,000 members, that's 37 million Kenyan shillings. Are you sure that's all you collected? And then he expresses in Swahili that, you know, us working hard, then you know, just take advantage of that. It's not right. Someone else like Fena was, she replied, I'm getting 2,500. I mean, does this mean I'm on the same level as Calligraph Jones at this rate?
Like the audacity, I don't even, man, it's crazy.
I mean, you put yourself in that shoe.
It's like they expose themselves, you know?
100%. Well, I'm loving our conversation, but we'll take a short commercial break. Okay. And when we come back, we'll still get into more questions and try to understand what exactly the breakdown for MCSK Kenyans are for giving Kenyan artists their royalties. Don't go anywhere, you're watching 𝐄-𝐌𝐀𝐆𝐀𝐿 magazine.